Hello everybody. France, a country with a rich and long history of culture, art, and philosophy, is now facing significant challenges in modern life. In the midst of rapid technological advancements and a fast-paced lifestyle, many people are beginning to feel an emptiness that remains unfilled, even though everything is readily available in their daily lives. For some, the Western world seems to offer everything: freedom, prosperity, and limitless opportunities. However, behind that sheen, there is a profound sense of emptiness that ultimately drives the search for a deeper meaning in life. This is what has led many French citizens to the gates of Islam. Life in the modern era is often marked by an endless rush. Every day, people hurry to pursue career success, social status, and material possessions. For many, the world becomes an arena of competition that never ends, where happiness seems to depend on what we have, not on who we really are. So many people feel their lives revolve solely around work routines, shopping, and consumption, with little chance for reflection or the search for a deeper purpose. This phenomenon leads not only to physical exhaustion but also to emotional and spiritual dissatisfaction. There seems to be a loss of direction, a feeling that, despite everything appearing perfect on the surface, there is an unavoidable void. It is in these moments that many begin to ask, what is the real meaning of life? What is the purpose of all of this? In the midst of this search for meaning, many people begin to seek alternatives to the materialistic and individualistic lifestyle. One of the answers that arise in their minds is a religion that can provide balance between worldly life and spirituality: Islam. Islam presents an extremely attractive answer, a life full of meaning, with clear guidelines and solid moral principles. Islam emphasizes values that many feel are missing in the modern world, such as a sense of brotherhood, solidarity, simplicity, and living with a purpose greater than merely pursuing personal gain. For many French people who are growing tired of excessive freedom and material pleasures, Islam becomes a promising alternative. Islam teaches that true happiness is not about what we have, but how we live with gratitude and how we maintain our relationship with God and fellow human beings. In Islam, there is peace found through worship, the command to give charity, and the guidelines for living a life that provides security amid the uncertainties of modern life. In addition to the search for meaning, the social crisis facing France also plays a significant role in redirecting many people's attention to Islam. Social inequality, economic crisis, and rising political tensions have left many feeling alienated from the existing system. This increasingly fragmented society has a profound impact on one's sense of belonging and social identity. In large cities such as Paris, Marseille, and Lyon, the gap between the rich and poor has become sharper. Society, which once had strong social ties, is now divided by social class, ethnicity, and religion. Issues like high youth unemployment, lack of access to education, and tensions between minority and majority groups have left many people feeling that the system has failed to provide solutions. Islam, with its emphasis on social justice, brotherhood, and collective well-being, has become an answer for those who feel marginalized by social injustice. The concept of justice in Islam appeals to many who want to see a more fair and equitable world, where every individual is valued regardless of their social status or background. For many French citizens, the journey to Islam did not happen overnight. At first, they were merely curious and interested in the teachings of Islam, discussed by friends or seen through various social media platforms. However, the more they delved into it, the more they felt the spiritual power within the teachings of Islam. This process often involved a shift in perspective toward life and an opening of the heart to understand the meaning behind every Islamic teaching. It wasn't just adults who were interested in Islam, but also young people who began to view Islam as a way of life that provided peace and purpose. Those who had previously felt anxious about the future and overwhelmed by the demands of modern life found in Islam a true source of inner peace. After many French people began searching for deeper meaning in life, the process of their conversion to Islam did not occur in isolation. The role of the Muslim community already present in France became crucial in guiding new converts and facilitating their understanding of Islam. These communities not only provided a space of belonging for Muslim immigrants but also served as bridges to those outside the faith, helping to introduce them to the teachings of Islam. In this chapter, we will explore how these communities played an essential role in the growth of Islam in France, and how social interactions between Muslims and non-Muslims accelerated the spread of the faith. Islam first made its way to France in the 19th century, particularly through migration from Muslim-majority countries in North Africa, including Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia. However, the connection between France and the Muslim world deepened significantly after World War II, when France faced the need for labor to rebuild its economy. Workers from France's colonies in North Africa arrived, bringing Islam with them. Over the years, the Muslim population in France grew substantially. Today, France is home to the largest Muslim population in Europe, with many of these individuals living in urban centers like Paris, Marseille, and Lyon. Initially, Muslim communities were more isolated, but in recent decades, they have become more integrated into French society, opening doors for people outside the faith to learn about Islam. This social integration has played a key role in attracting many non-Muslims to explore Islam more deeply. Mosques and Islamic institutions in France serve not only as places of worship but also as cultural and social hubs. These spaces play an essential role in the dissemination of Islamic knowledge and values. While mosques are places for communal prayers, they also host a wide range of activities, such as religious lectures, educational seminars on Islamic teachings, and celebrations of Islamic holidays like Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Many non-Muslims have attended these events to learn about Islam in an open and friendly environment, helping to dispel misconceptions and fostering greater understanding. Within these mosques, new visitors can listen to sermons that highlight the peaceful and just nature of Islam. They are also introduced to the idea of spiritual growth and the importance of living a righteous life. Many mosques in France offer educational programs such as Arabic language classes and Quranic studies for those who wish to learn more about the religion. These educational resources allow people not only to gain theoretical knowledge but also to experience the spiritual and practical aspects of Islam. Furthermore, formal Islamic educational institutions, such as Islamic schools and universities, have begun to emerge across France. These institutions offer courses that teach not only religious principles but also practical values, including ethics, morality, and guidance on applying Islamic teachings in modern life. This growing access to Islamic education has made it easier for people to engage with Islam and, for many, has resulted in their conversion. One of the biggest challenges faced by Islam in France is the negative stereotypes and prejudices surrounding the religion, especially in the aftermath of terrorist attacks and the association of Islam with extremism. The majority of Muslims in France reject violence and extremism, but the media and some political groups continue to paint Islam as a violent and intolerant religion. In this context, interfaith dialogue has played a crucial role in improving the understanding of Islam in France. There have been many initiatives aimed at promoting peaceful coexistence and mutual respect between different religious and cultural groups. Interfaith forums, open-door events at mosques, and discussions between Muslim and Christian leaders have helped bridge the gap between communities and foster a climate of respect. These initiatives allow non-Muslims to interact directly with Muslim communities, learn about Islamic teachings, and experience firsthand the peaceful nature of the religion. People who were previously misinformed or afraid of Islam have found that their fears often stem from misunderstanding rather than reality. Such initiatives have been critical in changing perceptions of Islam and gradually eroding the distrust that has lingered in the French public. In addition to the physical presence of mosques and Islamic centers, social media has become a vital tool for spreading Islam in France. Social media platforms, such as YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, have provided an accessible and immediate way for people to learn about Islam, engage in discussions, and even ask questions about the faith. For many young people, social media has played a pivotal role in their journey to discovering Islam. Islamic scholars, activists, and influencers have used these platforms to create educational content that explains the true teachings of Islam, debunks misconceptions, and offers spiritual advice. Videos, podcasts, and articles about Islam are now widely accessible to anyone interested in learning more. These platforms also allow converts to share their personal journeys to Islam, which can resonate with others who are seeking a path of spiritual fulfillment. Moreover, social media has created online communities where people from all backgrounds can connect, ask questions, and support one another in their exploration of Islam. This digital space has made the process of converting to Islam more inclusive and less intimidating, as individuals can interact with others who are at different stages of their journey. Perhaps the most significant transformation over time has been the changing perception of Islam in France. While there are still significant challenges and tensions, particularly in the political and social spheres, there is a growing acceptance of Islam as a part of French society. Younger generations, in particular, are more open-minded and willing to engage with diverse religious and cultural backgrounds. In major urban centers, it is now common to see young people showing interest in halal food, Islamic fashion, and participating in cultural events related to Islam. This growing interest reflects a broader societal shift toward recognizing Islam as an important part of the nation's diversity. It also marks a movement toward recognizing the value that Islam and Muslims contribute to French society. The acceptance of Islam in France is not only about acknowledging its religious significance but also about understanding the impact it has on social cohesion. Islam, with its emphasis on social justice, equality, and respect for others, has the potential to play a vital role in shaping the future of France as a more inclusive society. Despite the significant growth and acceptance of Islam in modern France, the journey has not been without its challenges. As Islam continues to develop and expand within the French context, there are numerous obstacles that must be addressed, both from a social, political, and cultural standpoint. This chapter examines the challenges faced by Islam in France today, while also exploring the opportunities and potential for a brighter future for the Muslim community in the country. One of the most significant challenges Islam faces in France is the widespread stereotypes and discrimination against Muslims. Media portrayals often link Islam with terrorism, extremism, and violence, despite the fact that the vast majority of Muslims reject these actions and adhere to peaceful teachings. These negative associations contribute to a climate of fear and misunderstanding, which hinders the integration of Muslims into broader French society. Many Muslims in France experience discrimination in their daily lives, whether in the workplace, schools, or public spaces. These prejudices are often fueled by the media and political rhetoric that links Islam with radicalism and terrorism. This creates a sense of alienation for many Muslims who feel they are being unfairly judged based on the actions of a small minority. It also makes it more difficult for Muslims to fully integrate into French society, as they are often seen through the lens of suspicion and mistrust. In recent years, efforts have been made to address these issues, with various Muslim organizations working to promote interfaith dialogue, challenge stereotypes, and raise awareness of the true teachings of Islam. However, the work is ongoing, and there is still much to be done to change the perceptions of Islam in France. The French principle of laïcité, or secularism, plays a significant role in shaping the relationship between religion and the state in France. Laïcité is a strict policy of separation between religion and public life, which means that religious symbols, practices, and expressions are often restricted in public spaces. This policy has led to tensions between the French government and the Muslim community, particularly regarding the wearing of religious symbols like the hijab. Ban on wearing hijabs in public schools, for example, sparked widespread debate in France and beyond. Many Muslim women felt that the ban infringed upon their right to practice their faith freely. For them, the hijab is not only a religious symbol but also a form of personal expression and empowerment. The ban on hijabs, along with other restrictions on religious expression in public spaces, has led to feelings of marginalization and exclusion among Muslims in France. At the same time, laïcité is seen by many as a cornerstone of French identity, ensuring that the state remains neutral and does not favor any particular religion. This creates a difficult balancing act between respecting the religious freedoms of Muslims and upholding the secular ideals of the state. While laïcité is intended to protect individual freedom, it often leaves Muslim citizens feeling that their religious practices are not fully accepted in French society. A significant portion of France's Muslim population comes from immigrant backgrounds, particularly from North Africa. Many of these individuals face economic challenges, including high unemployment rates, low wages, and limited access to quality education and healthcare. These challenges are compounded by the social stigmas attached to their ethnicity and religion, which often leads to further marginalization. The economic disparity faced by many Muslims in France has contributed to a sense of frustration and disillusionment, particularly among younger generations. Many young Muslims find themselves caught between the expectations of their immigrant parents and the reality of growing up in a society that does not always offer equal opportunities. This sense of marginalization and alienation can sometimes lead to resentment toward the French system, which some view as unfair and discriminatory. Additionally, the lack of economic opportunities can make it harder for Muslims to fully integrate into French society. When people are struggling to meet basic needs, they may feel disconnected from the larger community, and this can exacerbate feelings of isolation and exclusion. For the Muslim community in France to thrive, addressing issues of economic inequality is crucial, as it will pave the way for greater social mobility and integration. Education is one of the most powerful tools in overcoming the challenges faced by Islam in France. By providing young people with a more accurate and nuanced understanding of Islam, schools can help break down stereotypes and foster greater tolerance. In many parts of France, there is a lack of education about Islam, which contributes to widespread ignorance and misunderstanding about the religion. To address this, several educational initiatives have been launched in recent years. Some schools have introduced courses on world religions, including Islam, to provide students with a broader understanding of different faiths. Additionally, some Muslim organizations in France have taken steps to offer educational programs that explain the peaceful nature of Islam and its teachings on tolerance, compassion, and coexistence. By fostering a culture of dialogue and understanding through education, France has the potential to create a society where people from different backgrounds can live together harmoniously. Educating both Muslims and non-Muslims about each other's cultures and beliefs is an essential step in overcoming divisions and building a more inclusive society. Despite the challenges, there are many opportunities for Islam to continue growing and thriving in France. One of the most promising signs is the increasing involvement of young Muslims in both religious and civic life. Many young Muslims in France are becoming more active in their communities, not only by practicing their faith but also by contributing to social causes and working to improve the lives of others. In addition to this, the younger generation of Muslims in France is more likely to embrace the principles of tolerance and coexistence. They are not as burdened by the divisions of the past and are more likely to engage with people from different backgrounds in a positive and constructive way. As these young Muslims become leaders in their communities, they have the potential to break down barriers and create a future in which Islam is seen as a positive force in French society. Furthermore, France's growing interest in interfaith dialogue, social justice, and multiculturalism provides an opportunity for Muslims to become active participants in shaping the country's future. As the French society becomes more diverse, there is an increasing recognition of the importance of embracing that diversity and promoting an inclusive society where everyone is respected. Looking toward the future, Islam will continue to play an important role in shaping the social, cultural, and religious landscape of France. While the challenges of discrimination, political tensions, and economic inequality remain, the potential for Islam to contribute to a more inclusive and just society is immense. Through education, dialogue, and active engagement with the broader community, Muslims in France can help foster greater understanding and unity. The future of Islam in France is one that can be defined by mutual respect, cooperation, and shared values. By addressing the challenges that exist today and seizing the opportunities for growth and integration, Islam can help shape a future in which France embraces its diversity and works toward a more peaceful and harmonious society for all its citizens.